Hello and welcome to the Musty Creative Podcast. I am your host, Jesus Nolan, and I am joined by my friend and yours,
Michelle Nolan.
All right, Michelle, we are here, and it's the last week of March.
Already?
Yeah, 2019 is zooming on by, and we have a great set of stories coming out this year in film. And also, we gotta look into what books are coming out. But anyways.
Yeah, we should read books.
Yeah, we really should. Thank you for joining us today, even though it's musting here, because we've been working too hard. If this is your first time listening to us, we are the Musty Collective, and we motivate ourselves to become better storytellers. Are toys real, Michelle? Do inanimate objects have consciousness? Those questions and more after the break. So, let's start the show. Michelle, we watched a trailer last week. It's the first full trailer for Toy Story 4. And it has made us speculate a lot, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm questioning my existence.
You're questioning your existence? I'm questioning, like, the people in Pixar right now.
Is that a bad thing?
No, well, okay. It depends, because we haven't seen the movie yet, right?
Yeah.
Toy Story 4 could be great, and it could suck. But I will say this. After watching the trailer, the first full trailer, because all we saw were teasers,
yeah,
I'm actually really excited for the movie now.
Yeah.
I feel like they found a purpose for the story. That was my big thing. Like, do they have a real story to tell us in this world again? Or is this just like, let's just get a sequel together because easy marketing, easy money, like Incredibles 2 in 2018?
Yeah, because I was worried, not after, because the teaser trailer was good where it showed Sporky.
Forky.
I always say Sporky.
Yeah, he is a spork, but he's called Forky. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, because Sporky's better. But yeah, so I was watching that,
right?
And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
I like the song they used, which was like this old, I don't know what.
Oh,
it's
that was
like
the
from
hippies, yeah,
or something.
Dancing in my hair, never, I don't belong. and then they had the teaser with the two Key and Peele guys.
Yeah, Key and Peele.
Yeah, they had two teasers actually for them.
Yeah. The thing was... Right.
And then they had Bo Peep revealed.
The thing was...
Yes, ma'am.
I thought... Because Key and Peele are hilarious.
Yes, but do they match this universe, though?
But...
Yeah.
In my opinion, the new trailer with them in it wasn't funny.
Which one was it? Was it the one where... They're like, to infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
That one? Or the one where they're kicking Buzz Lightyear, which is actually looks like it's in the film.
Both?
Yeah. No,
I mean, you want to like it because, it's Key and Peele. I love Key and Peele.
Yeah.
But then it just felt like, I don't know if it's like the writing was just not good for them. Or I don't know if they were just completely ad-libbing. They're like, oh, that's funny. Let's just use that.
No, you know what? Jordan Peele won the, 2018 Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah.
For Get Out.
Yeah.
So I believe they're a legit writing team. So I think they came in and wrote something. But
no, I'm saying the Toy Story writers wrote something for them.
Oh.
And they didn't write it.
No, because they do have a collaborative. We both write Creativity Inc.
Yeah.
And they do bring in people, like they brought in Bill Hader and as a co-writer, or at least a story group person to take in part of the writing, and other people, Rashida Jones, but she left obviously, but over creative differences. So I do think they collaborate something, but personally, those if I say it like that, those type of toys. Those people. I don't know really if it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Because the comedy is not supposed to be direct. Like I think this is what it is. the comedy that they're bringing to Toy Story now
Uh-huh.
is like direct, like this is supposed to make you laugh.
Yeah.
But Toy Story comedy has always been more about like it's funny because they're toys.
Mm-hmm.
Where like in Toy Story 2, it's like it's not supposed to be a gag hit you, but it was funny because of what the context was.
Uh-huh.
Where they finally get Woody and they're running back to the house to Andy's,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it's Zurg and Buzz Lightyear, another Buzz Lightyear, a generic toy one. Not Andy's, Buzz Lightyear, are playing ball like, hey, father, hey, son, and they did the whole Darth Vader Luke thing, but without them hurting each other. That was hilarious, and so hilarious I still remember this to this day. So that's the kind of comedy I'm looking for in Toy Story, not a, hey, these toys are hilarious. It kind of reminds me of Transformers 2 with the Negro bots.
What?
It kind of reminds me of that. I don't know if you watched.
I've seen that.
Transformers 2 by Michael Bay. Had
Was that what they were called?
Well, they were called other N-words, but I call them the Negro bots because they were like, hey, we're cool and we use slang and hip hop terms.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so I kind of feel, not saying it's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But it feels similar. Like, yo, those are the black toys.
I know, that's what I was feeling.
Right. If anyone's mad and offended, I'm black, so I could say that.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. I will say, talking about this trailer, the choice of music for the first teaser and the full trailer are very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What can you interpret from the choice of music, right? Like the full trailer had a specific song.
Yeah. The full trailer. What song was that?
God knows I.
Oh, God only knows what I'd be without you.
Yeah.
So I think that song. I mean, it's like with the teaser, that song talked about the story that seems to be happening, like the actual story too.
Yes.
And then the God only knows what I'd be without you. I
Right.
don't think that's the full title, but whatever.
Yeah, but the main thing. Yeah.
So I think like it's just the whole concept of. I mean, like the feeling that I got from the trailer was that this is really about like an arc for Woody and how he has to make a choice between his ultimate destiny as a toy to make a child happy, whatever child that is,
so
or
let's pause that because we're gonna get into that some more.
Uh-huh.
But yes, you're hinting at what we're gonna get into the deeper thoughts. But before we get into that. Based on a couple lines from Forky and some of the other toys, I believe Pixar is expanding the lore of the Toy Story universe, right? We both agreed that this is what seems to be happening.
Well, that's what we talked about in that other episode we did.
Yeah, but we have evidence.
Yeah.
Because we have one line that says, I don't belong here, which is from the first teaser trailer.
Yes.
But we have a second line, Bonnie made a friend, which was the opening line to the full trailer.
Yeah.
Bonnie made a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then Woody introduces to the gang Forky.
Yeah.
Right? And then a third line here where Forky's saying to Woody when he jumps out, this is a comedy I'm looking for. Like Forky seems like a sporadic, paranoid, almost schizophrenic toy, and I really am going to enjoy having him around. I am not a toy. I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash. Freedom! And he jumps out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get into the last line because this is where you're hinting at.
Yeah.
But based on that last line from Forky, he actually knew who he was before he became a toy.
Yeah.
So one, there is the ability for anyone, it seems, to make a toy out of anything. And then two, inanimate objects in this universe have consciousness.
Yeah.
They know who they are. And the toys, when Woody first introduced Forky to them, said, hey, that's a spork.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you take away from that?
I feel like it's because I think we talked about this earlier, but it was there's like two ideas in my head of like one, it's either they can all communicate like the toys, like it's just whatever inanimate objects
but they don't have mouths
people use, they can they're all alive. It's sort of like what Beauty and the Beast when all the things are all alive.
Oh snap!
But
That plays right into Disney World.
yeah,
Oh my
but
word!
I was also thinking maybe the reason why we've never seen like Cups and Sporks and whatever come alive and talk is because that's like a whole different realm.
Okay, but that
And then it goes, and then the toys have their own realm, and so that sport crossed over into like another like dimension sort of.
Well, dimension of reality or something like that. Like, are there different? I love the way you said realm. Are there different realms in this world of inanimate objects? And that's what we're going to explore. That they can all become toys. And here's another question I don't think we talked about. How much playtime do you need, or imagination, or what is the magic moment when an inanimate object crosses over from, tool, item to toy? Like, can you take a regular fork and a kid plays with the fork? Or as an asthmatic, I play with my inhalers. So do my inhalers wake up after I'm gone and start talking to each other like, hey, that was a great match. Oh, I got you, dude.
But
like what moment is that magic moment? Are we exploring the moment of imagination and spontaneity and creativity in the world?
No, but okay.
Is there a God in Toy Story universe?
I don't know.
Woo!
But, okay.
Woo!
I mean, they use the song "God Only Knows." Okay, but
we're all created in the image of God, according to the Bible. So what's going on?
I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so I was thinking. Oh, what was I thinking now? Okay, so the thing you're saying about when does that transition happen?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about when, like, just in general, like when Buzz first came.
Right.
He didn't show that he was alive until he got played with, right? But then also too.
But remember in Toy Story 2, no one played with the Buzz Lightyear and Zurgs, and they're running around.
No, I know, that's what I was gonna say. So I'm trying to like.
Unless they play test them in the factory or something.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out like when it was exactly that it showed them, or it's just when they're assembled, or is it like who assembles?
I know,
them?
that's what I'm saying. They're trying to change the rules a little bit. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about this. Let's keep moving on. Is Bonnie a special case of toy maker like Jedi who can bring inanimate objects to life? This is another thing I was thinking about. Right, like, do kids have disability? Are these things that the toy makers are going to come out, and these toy masters are the ones who first infused to toys becoming real? And are we going to have some ancient history of like toys throughout the universe, or throughout the history of humans, where they come alive? Or is Bonnie a special case? Maybe that's why it was such a big deal that it moved from Andy to Bonnie, right? The Pixar only gave us a lens on certain kids who were able to bring their toys alive. Sid, Bonnie, Andy, right? Are there people specifically, or is this for everybody?
I feel like it's just... I don't think it's certain people. I think it's just whenever something is made with the intent of it being for a kid.
Or for play.
Yeah, then that's when it comes to life.
Oh, you're right, for a kid. And we're going to get into this, right? So do all inanimate objects in the Toy Story world think and know their purpose? Because Forky seemed to pretty much know his purpose.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that's true. Right? That's not speculation. Forky knew exactly who he was and what he was supposed to be. And he was okay with that.
Yeah.
He was okay with being in the trash.
Yeah.
He's running away from being a toy.
Well, that's what it showed. I mean, throughout, I'm trying to think of all the other Toy Story movies, but all the toys seem to always yearn for a kid.
Right.
So that was like just a set thing. Like wherever they came from or whoever they were owned by, they always knew like, oh, that's my kid, or
So I'm wondering about, again, the rules have me excited about this. Is this like a Baby Geniuses thing that when a kid...
Baby Genius.
Right? Well, let's say a kid crosses over to full adulthood, or they forget their inner child, and they don't have this power to make inanimate objects become toys again. Maybe something like that. All right. Now, there's a big word I'm going to bring up here, so everyone just, cover your butts. Existentialism. Which is a philosophical theory or approach which emphasizes the existence of the individual person as a free and responsible agent determining their own development through acts of the will. And interesting, that's the word when I watched this trailer that came to mind to me is, are we being taught some lessons of existentialism? What does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to be an agent of your own will, of your own existence? No, not relying on destiny, not relying on the hand of fate. Are you a person that can actually exercise your free will and say, I can go and do this?
Yeah.
Right? Which gets into the idea of what you want to talk about. Right? This whole thing with Woody. And I pause you on it, but...
Yeah. So, like, the way that the trailer made it seem, and according to my calculations...
Yes, your calculations.
I feel like he's going to end up having to make a decision between Bonnie and Bo Peep.
Yes. Bo Peep is back, and there's a love interest thing.
Yeah, so, like, the whole thing is, do I fulfill my purpose as a toy?
Right.
And do this thing that I know I was created to do?
Right.
Or do I give in to my own desires and I stay with this toy that I fell in love with?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, does he give in to his own selfishness, or does he live a life of selflessness?
Right, which is great, because this is the part where I felt something in the trailer. The line that, and Tom Hanks is just doing a great job with the voice acting here. He really should win maybe some kind of award.
Yeah.
If this movie's good and his performance is as good as it was in the trailer. The quote here, "I was made to help a child. I don't remember it being this hard." And it's like, oh, Tom Hanks, I'm sorry, Woody. I'm sorry. Like, it is selflessness.
Yeah.
Complete selflessness, because this is not... Because when I first watched the trailer, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a repeat of Toy Story 2 and 3, where you have a bad toy, and then the place that they're going to for safety, quote unquote, is not as good as it was made out to be.
Yeah.
But it looks like Bo Peep's place is actually as good as it's made out to be, and toys have some real freedom and some movement.
Yeah.
And so I think Woody is gonna be faced with a situation where it's not a Lotso. It's not the prospector situation where it's an evil toy and this is a place where you won't have any freedom, no love. This is Bo Peep, and she's looking mighty good for a toy, going on 20 years or so. And Woody is alone as far as his friendships, his close friendships. Buzz has Jessie, Jessie has Buzz, and so it's just a matter of like, okay, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And there is that struggle of, well, does Woody continue this selfless way of living? Which I think is a great metaphor and parallel for a lot of things. His selfless love for children and making them happy, continue to be there for Bonnie as she grows up. And she seems to be a good kid. Or does he go with his own desires? Now, here's some forward-thinking thoughts for us. I believe that this movie is the beginning of a trilogy. Michelle, do you agree or not agree? Not saying if you don't want it to be, but do you think this is what they're planning?
I don't think so.
Okay. Why is that?
I feel like it took them so long to create this one. And
they better have a plan then. They can't be waiting 10 years.
No, I know, that's the thing. So I feel like this would be the last one unless it goes into a completely different group of toys.
Yes.
Because it feels like... Or it goes into the world of cutlery. But I think...
Be our guest.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, I'm just thinking like... I don't know. I feel like Tom Hanks and
Woody Allen. No, Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
Yeah,
very different people.
Yeah.
Tim Allen. I feel like they're not gonna want to keep doing this.
I don't know if it keeps paying well. Why
That's
not?
True.
Why not? Because it's just voice acting.
I don't know. I feel like. I mean, I would hope that
can you have a Toy Story movie though without Woody and Buzz?
Not really.
And so here's the thing. Here's the thing as we start to close down this section. Is Forky going to survive all 3 films? I believe it's going to be a trilogy. If it's a trilogy, do you believe Forky will survive all 3 films?
I'm just thinking he's at the end of the movie, he's going to just be used to eat chili and then they're going to throw him away.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, is there a world plot developing in Toy Story? Right, like I said, we've hinted at a couple things. If this is a trilogy, do you think there could be a world plot here, that is bigger than the current local story? Right, that is that we're seeing in this movie, Toy Story 4.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Is there a world plot developing in Toy Story based on this trailer?
I mean, there can be. I feel like it's going a lot deeper than... Because the other three, I feel like, were more just the world of those specific toys.
And in one city, really. Just very local.
So I feel like this is opening up a bigger thing. Like, just Bo Peep being... literally saying, look at this, like, new, like, land we could, I don't know, whatever.
And they're also on the road, on vacation, it looks like, in a mobile home.
Yeah, so I think it's, I don't know, I think it does open it up to new plots and things, but I'm just wondering if the story is going where we think it's going, I really don't know where they would lead after that.
Okay. All right, so you can now in this section. This is where we're gonna kind of wrap it up here. Before we get into that, let's go into the comment section of the trailer. I picked out a couple of comments that I thought were pretty cool. Do you want to read them?
Yeah, I always like reading the names. Astronomical Armadillo says,
Yes.
"Why am I alive? I ask that question to myself every single day."
Yeah, which is something Forky says in the trailer.
It's so sad.
Yeah, and then 247 people thumbs up, man.
And then Magic Man 205 says, so, like, did Bonnie create sentient life with Forky? Sporky?
I think it's Forky in the trailer, but maybe it's
Forky?
Sporky. I don't know. Maybe they had to misspell it.
This guy's saying Sporky.
No, it is Forky. It's Forky.
And then Monsieur Blue Pen says, Bonnie makes Forky. Forky. I am God's unfinished creation. Everything burns. Existence is pain. Somebody end my suffering.
Yeah, that one made me laugh out loud like crazy when I first saw that. Yeah.
And then Young Orange says, there will be more adults than children in the theaters.
Yeah, I could see that. And then this is the best one right here. Let's say the last one.
Mako Pempen says, the hottest toy this Christmas will be a spork with googly eyes.
Seriously, Disney is so smart, like, with the marketing. Like, this is a non-complicated toy. You get a spork with some pasted on eyes.
That was their goal, because they're trying to save money.
Maybe.
On merchandise.
Maybe. I mean, I'll make a Forky for kids.
Yeah, anyone can make a Forky.
No, I make a special Forky. Okay. But anyway, so the last thing I want to do, so you can help me kind of bounce ideas off me, or for me, is I want to brainstorm 3 separate storylines that could be new Toy Story stories. So this is saying we're not counting Toy Story 4 because we don't know what it is. We're only counting Toy Stories 1, 2, and 3. We're not counting the Christmas special. The story that time forgot. So we're just counting Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. Create a new trilogy, and say we're gonna sit down with Pete Docter, Bob Iger, Jennifer Lee, and a bunch of other creatives, right? Andrew Stanton and all those guys, and say, hey, I have a trilogy for you. Yeah. Right. So, we're gonna do this. It will time me for a minute. You want to bring up the timer? Oh. You bring up the timer. And I'm gonna pitch you a trilogy for 3 stories. This is after Toy Story 3 for Toy Story 4, 5, and 6. Now, I have not thought about this in the sense of, like, I've not prepared any notes, so this could be really bad, or just be really good. So just give me a minute. Okay. And if you want to help me, that's cool, but just make sure I don't go over a minute. Just let me know when to start.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, all right. Thank you for meeting me, Disney execs. Here we go. So, Toy Story 3, Andy's gone to college, and Bonnie is the new herald of the toys. I want to start with the first movie about, it's a buddy cop movie with Woody and Buzz on the road, much like Toy Story 4 that you've thought about, but this is a better version because there's going to be a love theme. We're going to save Bo Peep. She's not a strong, independent woman. She needs saving. and she's about to get melted down in a recycling center in New York City. So the toys are going to New York City. It's going to be Woody and Buzz on a buddy cop adventure, no one else. And they're going to go around through the country. And it's just going to be a rom-com. It's going to be hilarious. And they're going to save Bo Peep. Now, the second movie, they're going to bring back Bo Peep. And then we're going to explore love. Can toys create other toys?
Oh, stop. Right. 1 minute.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. I didn't get to finish, but okay. That's...
You're talking about toy sex?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that maybe there's some special way where toys can influence the particles.
Influence. So, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah. All right. So that's our thoughts on Toy Story 4. And if you have any comments or anything, just hit us up on our social media channels. In other cinematic universe news, it may be that we are on the verge of the launch of another cinematic universe. And when we say cinematic, we're talking about films. And in this case, we're talking about live action films. Because this IP, intellectual property, has had tons of animated films. But now they're going to have live action. Their first live action film for this intellectual property by Legendary Pictures. It is Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which looks amazing. If you've heard our previous podcast, you know that we're very excited for this movie.
Yes.
I hope it's a great success because you can't have Disney having all the successes in the world. Right? So, here's the thing. According to sources at IGN.com, Pokemon, here's the title of the article, Pokemon Cinematic Universe, a possibility after Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu may only be the beginning. This is interesting. Check this article out, right? So, according to Legendary Entertainment producer Ali Mendez, while on a visit to the Detective Pikachu movie set outside London last year, IGN and a small group of press talked to Mendez about the possibility of expanding the live-action Pokemon world beyond Detective Pikachu. Quote, Pokemon is such a rich universe. There are so many ways you can go inside of it. We're trying to get the first movie right. And then once we've done that, we'll see where we go from there. But absolutely, there are a lot of opportunities, Mendez said. While Mendez gave a reserved answer, it shows Legendary has clearly thought about how far they can go from here. After all, the big studios are all chasing the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and even though superheroes seem like a natural fit for this concept, Pokemon is an expansive franchise with a rich, interconnected world with lots of popular characters, not unlike Marvel. Now, we can continue with this article, but this has me excited. What about you, Michelle?
I'm excited. I mean, okay, I'll be honest. It's sort of a confession.
Go ahead.
When I was in elementary school, I was peer pressured into liking Pokemon.
Oh.
And it was not a good experience for me.
Confessions out here, huh?
Because people would, make fun of me for not knowing all the names of the Pokemon.
Oh, that sucks.
And I bought myself a poster with all the Pokemon names so I could start memorizing it.
So you would study after school?
So that way I wouldn't look stupid.
Aww. That sucks. You're not stupid.
Thank you. So I was like...
Bullies are sucky.
So, yes, they are. So I was like, I don't know, it was like a weird thing. But then I actually started to really like it afterwards. But I still never, fully indulged in it. I don't know all the storylines of, Ash and Misty and Brock.
Hey, you remember those three characters. That's good.
Yeah, but it's just... And I went to go see the Pokemon movie, the first one.
Pokemon 2000, I believe.
Yeah, so I went and saw that in theaters.
Pokemon, Mon. And actually, when we started dating, I think you had the original cassette of the movie soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
From 1999, I think. Yeah.
I used to listen to that all the time.
Yeah.
So that was I wasn't a hardcore
cassette tapes.
fan.
What are cassette tapes, Michelle? For our younger viewers.
Cassette tapes are a very old method.
Technology.
Yes. It's a very old way of listening to music.
Yeah. So you actually have a roll of tape, and you have to press play, and it would wind, and as it winded, it would read the data off of the tape.
And you'd have to, like, put a pencil in it to wind it up if it got
Oh,
loose.
yes. And then be kind, please rewind was a common
Yeah.
phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think this is an excellent move. I really, like I said, I love the Marvel movies. I think they're great, but I'm kind of waiting for someone to have another series of movies that I can look forward to.
Yeah.
That's not just men in tights or females in tights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for. Plus, it's completely right. Like Pokemon is a rich, expansive universe with tons of characters. There's like over 800 Pokemon, and there's some great relationships. Right, the relationship between like you said, Ash, Misty, and Brock. The relationship between Gary and Ash. We could explore that universe, or they could go classic and really just classic Pokemon game story and go with Red and Blue.
Yeah.
And really follow that storyline. But there's so many great things, so many great stories. There's Team Rocket, Team Aqua, Team Lava, and there's so many different regions in the world. So there's Hoenn, Johto, Kanto, all that good stuff. So yeah. And there's a rabid fan base of kids and adults that are ready to eat it all up if the movies are good, if they're telling great stories.
And if they can get people like Ryan Reynolds,
yes,
I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, and
I don't know if people who aren't completely Pokemon fanatics would want to go see a movie with like just a Pika Pika.
Yeah, and so this is something that I have to remove myself out of because I'm in, and I've bought and played a lot of Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Red and Blue, Yellow. I did Leaf Green, Fire Red, Silver, Gold. All that stuff. Right, and I've read the actual graphic novels in Red and Blue, Yellow Caballero, all that stuff. I'm in. I play Pokemon Stadium. I'm in. I'm ready to go. I've been wanting Nintendo to give us a real legit Pokemon MMO. I actually boycotted Nintendo for like 3.5 years. Going on 4.
That's true.
Because, or really 3.5 years, because they did not give me a console story-based Pokemon game that was not Pokemon Ranger or something like that. So I love Pokemon. It's it's one of the greatest franchises out there. So I did not think about that. This movie could do poorly because there may be not enough people who are like, Pokemon monsters? And what's this mouse with electricity? That's stupid. I know, but there are people who might think that way.
I know.
Right? And actually, I've been talking to some kids, and they are like, I'm not that excited about the movie. And I'm like, I'm hurt. I want this movie to do well because I want a cinematic universe to unfold. Yeah. So I hope that this is a great introduction, and because Ryan Reynolds was so successful with Deadpool, that hopefully, his brand will bring more people into it. But also, I think, what's his name? Justice Wilson? Justice, I think that's his name.
I don't know.
The main human actor. I think he's going to do... I think this could be a really great breakout movie for him because he's like an actual A-lister in this movie. So, yeah. So, do you have any stories that you would like told in the as far as live-action Pokemon movies? Do you have anything that's dear and near to your heart?
That wasn't live action? What do you mean?
No, like, if you could tell a live-action Pokemon story, do you have a story that in mind?
Of a Pokemon story?
Yes, Pokemon that would be live action.
I would sort of be interested, because I really like Eevee.
Ooh, okay.
I would be interested in, like, maybe a Eevee herder or something. I don't know.
Eevee herder?
Like someone that's, like, sort of like sheep, but a bunch of Eevees.
Okay.
And they're, like, breeding them, and then maybe one of them, I don't know, is voiced by Michelle Pfeiffer or something. I don't know.
Okay. That's cool. For
you. What about you?
So I would think, just to follow, looking at what Marvel's done, and also Pokemon is very good at this too, is that there's always some kind of big event. In every Pokemon game story, there's like the plot A is going to be you as the trainer wanting to become the champion, the Pokemon champion, and then the plot B is that you find out there's a nefarious organization like Team Rocket that's out there doing something evil.
Yeah.
So I think this would be interesting to actually retell the story of Pokemon, the Pokemon 2000 movie, of the birth of Mewtwo, but tell it a lot slower. And in this way, you can actually introduce characters like Ash, or if you want to do it, you can say Red and Blue, or you can do Ash and Gary and Professor Oak, and introduce them in like 1 or 2 movies. And then the third movie is this big event. You won't be able to do as many movie lead-ups because you're not going to have a movie separate for Misty or a separate movie for Ash or a separate movie for Gary.
Yeah.
But you can do maybe 1 or 2 movies before the big event, and then it's like, okay, now we start this timeline of, okay, here's Team Rocket, and you have the head of Team Rocket. I forget his name at the moment, but he was the gym leader of the 8th gym leader. Anyways, and you could have him, start to kind of like a Thanos, kind of like, hey, it's time to take over the world, and we're going to do this with our new creation where we took the cells of Mew, and now we create this new Pokemon who's going to be even stronger than Mew to help me take over the world. And you can start that thing and have an epic climactic battle and all that kind of stuff. That's where I would take it for Pokemon.
That sounds good.
Yeah. I think I'm really excited. I hope Pokemon Detective Pikachu does not flop. Hope it does really well at the box office, so it means that Legendary is going to make more movies.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to see the version with Danny DeVito as Pikachu.
No.
Aww.
I don't want to see that.
Well, anyway, if you listeners have projects that you're working on in 2019, it's already 2019.
Yeah.
Please let us know. And we could post about it on Twitter or Instagram, and then we will be happy to share it.
Yeah, we'll share it on the show. And that's all the time we have for today with you. Just remember to leave us a review on iTunes. And find us on Twitter. At Musty Creative. And on Instagram at The Musty Creative. And also anchor.fm/Musty. We are very close to debuting the Musty Creative website. Very, very, very close. Just a couple more updates. I actually got some code working with a good friend of mine named Jake, who's also a fellow Musty out there. So we are getting it done, and then we will tell it to you, and we'll tell the world. All right, my Musties. Now it's time to shower up.
Gives them a satisfaction they couldn't get any other way.